Hey party people, I'm John Brown, and you're listening to the I Know I'm Wrong podcast with John Brown and friends. That was pretty good, huh? You're impressed. For the latest episodes, visit www.thejohnbrownshow.com. And if you'd rather download through iTunes or Stitcher, just search I Know I'm Wrong with John Brown and friends. I'll show right up. I'm right there. Just go get it. And for all Facebook updates, just go to facebook.com/I Know I'm Wrong podcast. For live events, just search I Know I'm Wrong podcast at YouTube. I'll be right there. All right. I'll leave you alone now. God, you guys are so picky. Enjoy the show. Hey guys, what's going on? It's the best of December. End of December, end of the year. It's been a fun 3 months of podcasting anyway. And as usual, we throw together some of the highlights of the month at the end of the month for you people who do not keep up with every episode, which I just don't understand. You know, I do understand. I'm just being an asshole. But no, this is a nice little, mishmash of the best moments. I'll get a plug out of the way. New Year's Day, 7 p.m., I will be playing a music show. Yeah, at Fritz's in Keene, New Hampshire, on Main Street. I'll be playing a half-hour set. I'll be playing some of that analog music for you kids out there. You know what that means, right? Yep. I play that analog shit. Anyway, come on out. Bring in 2015 with me, right? Let's do it together. I'll hug you and everything if you ask for one. I'll give a hug. I ain't scared of no hug. Anyway, thank you all for listening throughout this year. You know what you could really do to make me super duper happy is share some more of my shit. And I said that, angrily, but I'm really not angry. I'm just fucking around. I'm actually in a pretty good mood. Considering, I've kind of recently had this weird breakthrough, realizing that a lot of times my first reaction to things is with resentment and jealousy. Yeah, and some reason that put me in a good mood. That's the level of fucked up human being you're dealing with. And just imagine me, and some of you don't have to imagine, what I was like when I was on drugs and alcohol. Yeah. The good news is, though, and this is where I'm getting a little better, is the I'm happy for that person and I love them thing is the second reaction I have, not the fifth. Right? So, hey, I'm going to keep this resentment and jealousy thing around a little longer, I think. Yeah. Anyway, enjoy the best of December. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks to the guests who have been on this year. I fucking love you guys. Thanks to America's favorite co-host, Greg Lohman. We all love you, Greggy G-Lo. I know you don't like hearing it, but I love you, buddy. And all of us at Browntown Studios here, which is me, really appreciate you. So let's make a little New Year's resolution that we won't stick to, but I understand. Let's share more of my shit. Let's share all of our friends' promotional shit. I have a few friends that are in bands and that kind of stuff. Let's start promoting. Let's start grassroots, getting the word out. Everybody complains that, in quotes, the man controls all this shit. Well, let's become the man. Let's do it the way we want to do it, all right? All right, then. Have a very fun New Year's. Well, probably day. Some of you will hear this during the day. You're probably not going to hear this during New Year's Eve. So let's start 2015 off the right way, huh? With a best of. Love you guys.
firm believer of the friendship tax.
Yeah, I'm not a good businessman at all. I'm like, why would I pay to have your friend? Oh, I see, the other way around. I get it.
Yeah, see?
But I actually wanted to get to something relatively soon that's untested. And I told you this early on in the week through text message that I have an idea for a character for the podcast.
Oh, yes.
And this comes from basically the Scott campaign to get Scott on the podcast.
Oh.
I'm officially calling it off.
What?
Well, it's just been too long. And
yeah, I know that there's not much left for that horse that we've been beating for the past 2 months.
Correct. I mean, it's just how many guests am I supposed to that don't even know him? Would you sign this? Sure, why not? But I have an even better idea, Greg.
All right.
Computer Scott.
Oh my God. We're gonna make a new Scott.
Yeah, hold on. Computer Scott, do you have anything to say?
Hey dudes. What's up? I'm Computer Scott in this bitch. Fuck yes.
All right.
Oh, they couldn't have gone any better.
So we've just given up on your roommate. We replaced him. This is what the future is going to look like to everyone. By the way,
This is called desperation.
no, yeah,
This is true friendship, by the way.
that is true friendship.
Where no more pressure. Don't worry, I got it.
I like what you've done with the place. Please show me more. So Computer Scott, what got you to finally come on the show?
Oh shit. See, now I got to come up with something.
Computer Scott is failing the Turing
Well,
test.
I'm both people. Hold on. He's thinking. He's a.
He's a computer.
Well, he is a computer.
He has to think.
That's true. Okay, here he goes. Please go.
No.
Oh, Computer Scott.
Computer Scott.
Oh, computer. Here,
I just grew a set of balls.
What the fuck? Computer Scott, you have fucking horrible timing.
Computer Scott is like on the bleeding edge of human interaction here. He's really got it down.
Yeah, he'll get better. Don't worry.
I hope so.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, what was that?
Fuck yeah.
It's a fucking weird dream, dude.
I know. And then
Viper.
after my Thanksgiving things last week, Judica actually kicked off on Friday morning.
Right. And you're going hardcore this year.
Oh yeah, no, the gloves were off. Like it was like the start of the Hunger Games where everybody's like on their pedestal and there's just a pile of wallets and shit in the middle. And everyone just dashed in. Like I called Brad on Thursday night trying to convince him that we needed to start opening Judica early to match the retail stores that were already selling stuff because I wanted to buy things that badly.
Right. The Brad Jaguar.
Yep.
Former guest.
The Brad Jaguar. I was driving home from Duluth. It's a 3.5 hour drive. Every time we go by, it's an exit right now. It's like a Target or a Best Buy. I'm like, I want to be there. But yeah, so Friday morning starts up. I open my day up pretty lightly. There's a sale on Blizzard games, so I picked up the newer StarCraft 2 expansion for like $10.
Okay.
I was pretty happy about that. And then I turned around and bought an iPad.
Did you need an iPad?
Not really. I already had another tablet. And
Perfect,
then Becky,
really.
My girlfriend has an iPad, and then she has another tablet. We have 2 people in our house, and we now have 4 tablets.
Beautiful.
Uh-huh.
And for just as a recap to Judica, this is a holiday in place of Christmas, where basically you buy yourself gifts,
Yes.
and based on market retail value and actual price paid, you earn points.
Yep. Yeah, and there's multipliers and different ways to score, and layman's way of looking at it is if you just are eyeballing it, think of 1 point is valued at $1 without modifications made to it. Last year the winning teams finished around 3,000 points or so by the end of the season. Coming out of this weekend, we already have two teams over 3,000 points.
Oh my God! Already? Jesus.
Yeah.
Or should I, lack of Jesus?
Yeah. No, it's pretty bad. I've been in constant contact with my teammate, who I actually only speak to during this season.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't cross paths a lot during the rest of the year, but when this 5-week period comes up, we become the best of friends on earth.
Right. It's almost like us every week.
We are out for blood. So
Well done. I like it.
thank you.
I would love to do it. I just don't have the heart. Or lack of
of
heart.
Yeah, I saw that text from you.
I just don't have it in me. I like Christmas too much.
You can still get things for Christmas and buy things for yourself for Judica.
I know, I just don't have the money.
The thing is, if you stop buying gifts for other people, you have more money for yourself. It's only awkward the first year.
No, and what it really is too is that I just need to stop buying stuff like throughout the year. And just do
That's
it.
a lot of it.
Yeah, and just do it at the end of the year. Like you were telling me that. Did you call me yesterday? Or Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we talked and like you were like, I just said like 5 times in a row. You basically said we just been waiting on these things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. Because like the whole thing I'm like, I'd love to play because I can still buy other people stupid gifts and then, because that's what I do.
Right.
Like I don't spend a whole lot of money on people. I just buy them like what would make them laugh a lot.
Right.
Like a funny T-shirt, that kind of thing, something they never expected. And
Exactly.
that's what I like about Christmas.
So what happened is every year, everybody's first year, they're terrible. They buy everybody a whole bunch of stuff, and
How dare they?
they get themselves like a DVD or two, and they're like, "Look how generous I'm being to myself." And
Ooh.
if you stick around and commit for the long haul, 'cause
Right?
This is our 7th year of this glorious
Been
festivity.
7 years?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
No, it's legitimate now. Like, it's long enough where it's like, no, this is a thing that my group of friends does every single year.
I should have played. I think it was 2009 or 10 when I bought my TV
You should have.
because it was Christmas time.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's never too late to start. I mean, you could start right now.
No, you're absolutely right. And believe me, in years coming, I'm on board.
We traded one evil for another, because what's happened is once you've done this a few times, it's like many of us have,
Right.
your buying habits over the year will change to get you ready for Judica.
Exactly. That was what I was trying to get at before too. It's like I just need to have long-term, vision.
Right.
Instead of being like, oh shit, it's November. That means Judica's starting. Oh, I've bought so much stuff, and none of it counts.
It's a rookie mistake.
Right. Exactly right. I keep talking to the audience like they're live. I forget we're not live. But anyway.
They don't mind.
No, they won't mind. They won't mind later. Not right now. But
Now they really don't mind.
right now they don't even know that they don't mind. That's the beauty of it. Lately, you've been doing a lot of writing. I see.
See.
I like that. You're quite the writer.
Thank you.
Do you post your blog publicly or not?
It's public. I don't know. I'm like you. I'm like, who the hell would want to read it?
Right.
Yeah, it's out there.
Right. You just don't like push it really.
Yeah, I don't really push it and I don't keep up with it either. It's just kind of like whenever.
No, I hear you. I mean, it's impossible to well, I guess it's not impossible if you get paid to do it, but I think it's impossible to really have great ideas just keep coming on. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have something to write about, there's nothing to write about.
Yeah, I can see that. Actually, we've experienced that with music.
Yes. Oh, it's the most frustrating thing in the world.
So, yeah, I think writing would be sort of the same. I don't know. I used to do. You did the newspaper too.
Yeah. Journalism.
Actually, can I just say that is actually how we met? That was before the talent show, I do believe.
Really?
I think so.
Wow. We met in journalism. Okay.
I actually wasn't in the class because I was the baby of the group.
You were over the summer, right?
Yes.
Haha, I do. This is all coming back to me now.
The car wash and like all that fun stuff. Yeah.
I do remember
I was
that.
there.
Okay. See, there's not many places to meet that are better than like music and everything, but journalism, that class was pretty good. That's a good, that's a pretty cool place to meet because
It really was a very good group.
yeah, that whole experience was pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
And that was really one of my first times, I don't know about you, but it was one of the first times where I understood that rebellion in some way did feel good. Because we used to get in trouble all the time for the things that we wanted to print.
I got threats. I actually got threats from people.
No, really?
For real. Yeah, seriously. People would actually write, like, they'd email in threats against me for stuff that I wrote.
Wow.
Because I would go and I would write stuff just to piss people off.
Right.
Because it was fun.
Yeah, and you had the ability.
Exactly. It was like the biggest power trip of, like, I don't know, I was like 14, 15-year-old, you know?
Yeah.
Biggest power trip you could have. So it's like, I'm just going to mess with everybody.
Oh, you got threats. I'm jealous.
It was great. I wasn't even allowed to read it. And that pissed me off. I'm like, the threat's about me. Why can't I read it? I'm like, just block out the name if you don't want me to know who it was. I don't care. I'm like, hell, I don't care. Whatever, but.
Wow. Threats.
Like, I just want to read it.
That's awesome. Did I ever post a picture on Facebook? Did you ever see I have an article somewhere from one of the papers, the day I had too much money for lunch.
I don't believe so. I think I missed that.
That was one of my favorite pieces from back then. I showed up to the lunch line one day with a $50 bill, and they wouldn't give me lunch because they couldn't break it.
Wow.
And one of the lunch ladies looked at me and said, "What do you think this is, a bank?" And I said, "No, it's a lunch line." And she did not laugh at all. And I had to go sit
lunch
there.
Ladies were really, like, they had their panties in a bunch or something because they were just not happy at all with anything in life.
I don't remember them being happy at all. No, that's true.
There were a couple they seemed kind of human.
Right.
Like they could possibly be happy and just weren't happy at work. But in general, they just not happy people.
No, they were not whatsoever pleased with me that day. I'll have to find it and post it if I can find it, if I find it soon. But yeah, that whole experience really was that one of the first times I ever felt like, oh, this is why, like, people do rebel, because if you're not, like, I wasn't trying to, like, I don't think any of us were really trying to, really annoy anybody as much as we had this version of our own truth and we knew how to write about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you think something's true and you write about it and it's not, it's not even inflammatory. It's just, this is my opinion. And I seem to have somewhat of a vocabulary, that the adults would get mad at you. Like, I remember we had to submit the papers to
administration.
Yes.
Yes.
And it felt so good when they came back with all these edits and we're like, no, we're not doing that.
Censorship, and we'd fight the man.
We would fight the man.
Yeah.
Because we never put anything that was in that bad. It was just an opinion, and it was like a solid opinion that we had research on, and other classmates' opinions and teachers' opinions, and it was amazing. I remember there was at the time there was like basically they were trying to decide whether they wanted to give teachers raises or cut their pay, for the next year. It was really terrible. And I remember, I won't throw his name under the bus now. Actually, yeah, I can, because he doesn't even work there anymore. Mr. Wright, my metal shop teacher. And I remember interviewing him about it and just being, well, what's that, basically just what's it feel like to not know? And he just basically just told me, very simply, He goes, there's just nothing good about, it does nothing good for morale for any group of people to know that, you know, what you're working for isn't working for you. And it was just really simple. And I'm like, that's perfect. Like, I'm just going to print that. That's great. And I remember they got really mad at that. And
You know what? I don't get that. I really don't. It just doesn't. I don't know. It bothers me. It bothers me.
yes, me too. It's one of those things like if you don't agree with that, maybe like, you know,
Change the circumstances so people don't feel that way.
sure, that's one certain option, but it might be one of those things where that group of people can't change the circumstance, but what they could do is maybe come out and explain everything. You know, be like, we can't change this, and this is why we can't change it, and it really sucks. It's
That
really
would work too.
right, exactly. But no, they just wanted to not print it. Like, no, just hide the problem. And it's like, these people are grown-ups. If you explain to them an unfortunate circumstance, they don't have to like it, but they will understand it and respect the fact that you treated them like grown-ups.
Absolutely.
And it's just, yeah. I remember thinking back then, I'm like, wow, these are grown-ups and they're mad at kids. This is hilarious.
It was pretty funny.
And it's like, I didn't even go to, like, because I think we did it 2 years, that class. I think it was a junior and senior year for me. And
It kind of changed over time because for 1 year, it wasn't even a class. It became a club.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they took it away as a class.
See, that sucks.
And then it became, let's see, it was my junior year, at least.
Mhm.
Maybe my sophomore year, too. It was just a club.
Wow.
And so you had only the really dedicated members who were, like, actually showing up for shit and doing a ton of work.
Yeah, so basically it was like an after-school thing.
Yeah.
That's
We
that's
didn't get
depressing.
any supplies because, so we had to do fundraising for everything and get sponsors. So we actually had to put ads into the newspaper.
Oh my god.
Seriously, we had to actually place ads from businesses, local businesses, into the paper to get them to fund us so that we could stay in print. Yeah.
And I remember back then, we used to print up hundreds of copies and they would sell out immediately.
I know.
Like, to where it was silly how fast they sold out. Man, all these memories are coming back from that time. I forgot about a lot of that. That was such a good class.
Like I said, never got to sit in on the class part of it, but I was like the behind the scenes person who like went in after school and was like, so what needs to be done?
Yeah, I remember because I did I think my junior year I did more of the after school part of it, and I do remember you hanging around and you know, we worked together a couple times, I think.
Yeah.
I remember that. And yeah, I don't think I think my senior year, it might have been the last year it was a class my senior year.
I think so.
And unfortunately, my senior year was spent mostly not at high school. I'd hate to break it to anybody.
Good for you.
Yeah, once I tell people often when we're talking about high school, the day I got a car was a horrible detriment to my high school career. I'm like, there's this vehicle that will just take me away from this place. And I had a girlfriend at the time who lived right down the street. So I just spent it at her parents' house. One of the most odd times of my life where I kind of knew, like, okay, things probably aren't going to go normally for me. Just like, because I just don't, like, I probably shouldn't notice this much in the moment. But he told me, and I think we talked about this before too, that did you get an award for music excellence in high school?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I did too. And it was like Mr. P was so uncomfortable asking me to come because he knew, like, I really didn't deserve to be there for any kind of scholastic, you know, excellence because I just didn't show up, which is fair. So I show up and it comes to the music part and I don't know what I'm even getting or I don't even know why I'm there. He basically, I think he did the same thing to you. Like, he just show up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's telling this story about there was this kid, and uh, we were, me and the chorus were performing the song, and he was disgusted by how bad the song was, and the story is I think you might have, were you in that class with chorus?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so we did this Beatles medley. Do you remember that?
I do. I actually still have a copy of it.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Somewhere.
That's awesome. And we did this Beatles medley, and I think it was like 6 or 7 songs, probably like a 9 or 10 minute piece. And one of the pieces in it is John Lennon's Imagine, which was already kind of weird that it's in a Beatles medley, because it's not really the Beatles, but whatever. I get it.
Yeah.
And it was terrible. I remember it was just really like, it didn't match anything, and it was off key from the original, which
Yeah, it was pretty horrible.
it was really bad. And I remember like I came down at the end of the class and I told Mr. P, and I was kind of offended. And I told him, I said, I'm not singing this. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I'm not singing it. It's terrible. And he goes, well, what do you suggest we do? And I said, I just told him I'll rearrange it. And he said, how long is that going to take? I said, I'll have it tomorrow. And I showed up the next day with it. And I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. Imagine's not exactly a difficult song to figure out. It's in
No.
It's in C. It's, there's no sharps or flats. So I mean, it's pretty basic.
I'm teaching my son that song, so yeah,
That's a great starter song.
it is.
And I brought it in. I remember, I know a lot of the copies we did this. I don't know if we did it with all of them, but we ripped out the old Imagine and we stapled in the new one.
Mine, it has it stapled in. Yes.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know there was anything that even existed with that still.
It exists somewhere in my garage in a box.
Good enough for me. Just that it exists somewhere is good. I used to have a bunch of old chorus stuff. I had a playbill that I went back like a few years later to watch a Christmas show after I graduated, and they used my version of Let the River Run like years later.
I'm trying to think. I think that might have been my senior year.
Okay. And
Was that the one with the dragon and the medieval theme Christmas thing?
maybe. Yeah, I think it was. Yes.
Yep, that was my senior year.
Okay. And I remember showing up and I didn't know they had that in there. And my girlfriend was with me at the time, and she looked over and said, look at this. And I'm like, what? And I look in the playbill and my name's in it still. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. So I had that for a while, but I think she took it with her when she left. But what was I? Oh, Imagine.
There we go.
Tangents.
Yeah, I was trying to go back there and it just wasn't. That train was not leaving the station.
But yeah, I ended up redoing it. It was pretty simple, but it was really nice. It worked out well and it matched. And I remember we sang it and all that, and then that was what the story he told on stage. And this goes back to like where I kind of realized that maybe the way I think or the things I how I experienced life was going to be a little different than other people. Was when he told the story and he called my name, and I get up and I'm walking towards the stage and everybody's clapping and everybody's whatever, and I realized as I'm walking towards the stage that there's a bunch of teachers and parents who are clapping for like a scholastic honor when I don't even barely go there. And I was just like, this is really strange. These are the last people that should be fucking clapping for me. Like Mr. P should be clapping for me because he's a music guy. But like, there certainly shouldn't be like a biology teacher clapping when I haven't shown up to his class for the last 2 weeks.
Maybe they're like, yes, it wasn't for nothing. You were skipping for a reason.
Yeah, well, I hope so. That's the most positive spin I could put on it. would be like, okay, at least you're doing something with your life. At least you're
Yeah,
doing
let's
something.
be positive with it.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that dose of positivity.
Oh, wow.
With that senior class that I was in, which was, in my humble opinion, one of the best choirs that I think that school's ever had, as far as I was hearing, and I've heard a lot of them.
Can I just say, our high school choir really set me up for later on. No other choir has ever come even remotely close. Like, I
Right.
have been let down so many times. I've joined, I think, 3 different choirs, and I'm like, this music is shit.
Oh, yes.
And I did, the Keene State concert choir, and I'm like, looking at the music, I'm like, seriously? We're doing this.
And they're looking at you like, what a bitch.
And I'm like, this is college level? I'm like,
You're like, don't you know where I've come
kidding
from?
me?
Don't you know where I came from?
And they're like, well, why? And then it's funny because I seriously went up to my choral director and I'm like, seriously, this is the choice that you made for this group. And she's like, yeah, why? And I'm like, okay, like, I'm a freshman, okay? But I'm looking at this, I'm like, and it's just not college level.
Right.
And she's
What
like,
is this, amateur hour?
she's like, well, she's like, what do you think would be more appropriate? And so I threw out some suggestions.
Right.
And I mean, because
Well, seeing she asked.
I hate people who will bitch about something and be like, well, I don't know a better solution.
You're right. I 100%
So you have
agree with that.
you have no right to bitch.
Right.
So I threw out some possible suggestions, which did not go over as well as I'd hoped. Gee, I wonder why. But she loved me anyway, so it was okay. And then she asked me, she's like, well, where did what choir were you involved in? And I told her, and she's like, well, that's why.
Oh, really? Like she knew?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it was kind of funny that apparently our school had a reputation for having a very good choir.
Well, it should have, because, like, as much as we used to have a lot of fun, we used to really joke around and all that kind of stuff, that group really was special.
Definitely.
And, like, when I think about, like, some of the misfits and some of the, troublemakers and stuff like that were in that class, and then there were other people in that class that were straight A students and, perfect little angels, and the one
And
thing
we all
that
just meshed.
Yeah, and the thing was, we all stayed after. We would show up after school to sing. Like, I don't know how, like, when I think back to that, like, we had this group of mismatched human beings that probably wouldn't be friends with each other otherwise, and we would all show up after school to sing. Like, that's some pretty strong shit.
It's funny because it makes me think of Glee for one.
I've watched Glee a few times. Okay, I can get on board with this.
It makes me think of Glee. Not a huge fan of the show, but that's where my mind goes for some odd reason.
Okay.
But yeah, I look at it back at that and I'm like, yeah, there's no way that group could have gotten together anywhere else.
Right.
And gotten along like they did.
What a weird, like, motorcycle gang like, just like such a weird group.
Yeah.
And we loved each other.
Yeah, it was very, very close knit group, and everybody there were very few people who just really couldn't get along, and those people didn't really last long.
No, because I was just gonna say I don't really remember personally seeing that as far as, like, our group. So I don't think they lasted long at all, because, like, you couldn't last long either when it came to, like, a Christmas show, because it was so chaotic and it was so much work. Like, we really poured our hearts and souls into that thing. Like, where there's
Absolutely.
I actually have friendships today where, I mean, we're not close friends, but friendly enough to where I actually care about what they're doing like now, where the only reason is because we either did Christmas shows or we're just in chorus together.
Yeah.
I mean, that group of people that when we used to do Christmas shows, that was family. Like when you have to do 8 shows in 4 days, you better be close.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's intense. And it's funny because I look back and I'm like, I have never been pushed like I was with that group.
No, never.
I can remember actually running out, like, I did weird, odd parts in every single Christmas show. Like, I can remember we did It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, that was good.
That was probably, I think, our best one we did. I provided, I don't know if you knew this, I did, like, all the props for, like, you know, the cash register and all that shit, like, all the antique stuff.
Right.
I tracked all that shit down.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was my baby. That was my thing. I was like, I got this.
Wow.
So, yeah, I tracked all that stuff down, put down deposits on stuff so if we broke it and all that. And, yeah, I tracked all that stuff down. And I ended up playing, I think wasn't it It's a Wonderful Life, where they had the girls in the fishnet stockings and...
Yes.
Yes, it was. It was A Wonderful Life. Yep. And I can remember running out from that, and I'm just, like, wearing these fishnet stockings and this, like, you know, like, skanky outfit as much as, you know.
High school allow, right.
High school play. And then just, like, in the hallway, stripping down to, you know, nothing but bra and panties and, like, whipping off the fishnet stockings and putting on the next costume and going out there because I didn't have time to get into an actual changing room.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, which was really strange for high school.
Yeah, right? And I look back and I'm like, you know, I never actually felt any sort of embarrassment from it. There was no awkwardness at the time, but looking back, I'm like, oh, holy shit, I really probably should have felt a little more awkward and uncomfortable than I did.
Well, yeah, it's a weird thing, like, because you see, like, you know, people who haven't been in a, you know, any kind of theater situation, you'll see movies and stuff where, you know, you'll see a backstage area of a theater, and that's what's going on. It's a bunch of half-naked people running around changing into things.
Oh, yeah.
And for some reason, there really is... Like, because people will watch those movies and think to themselves, that's really odd. Like, they should be, you think they'd be, like, wanting to be more covered up or whatever. There really is, like, an odd thing that happens where all that gets turned off when there's a goal.
Exactly.
It's really strange. I never really thought of that.
Weird.
Because there was a lot of half-naked girls running around and not one guy gave a shit.
Exactly. Where else could you find a bunch of half-naked teenage girls mixed in with a bunch of teenage boys and have nothing said, nothing done?
There was never once.
Exactly. Not a single... I can't think of a single time that there was... Well, no, actually, I can think of one.
Okay, good. I was getting worried.
Okay, I can think of one. But, okay, one out of... I did... What, 6? I did 6 shows, so yeah.
That's pretty good.
6 years ago. Actually, no, if you want to really get technical,
okay.
I was an extra, like, before I even got to middle school.
Really?
Yeah, because my sister was 12 years older, so they needed a cute little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that was me.
Oh, look at you starting your show business career early.
Ow!
It's like, blunk!
Yeah, and I demanded it tell me how tall Gordon Ramsay was.
Yeah, I want Taylor Swift to be my girlfriend.
Why?
Because she's insane?
Yeah, she's damaged goods. She's totally nuts.
That's what I'm into.
Yeah, no, you'll know she was trouble when she walks in.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, sorry about that pun. I just need to shake it off.
No, oh, Jesus, fuck. I didn't even see that one coming. I didn't see that one coming at all. It's more like teardrops on my guitar. Like that kind of. Like where she actually says in the fucking song that she wants to be him.
Are you ready?
I am.
Today's game is Who Said It? And the options are Was it Taylor Swift or Hitler?
Oh my god, I was thinking Hitler, and I'm like, there's no fucking way. This is great. This is better than I could have ever dreamed. Okay. I'm down.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
I know my flaws before other people point them out to me.
Hitler.
Taylor Swift.
Fuck. Okay. We're gonna put an X down. Oh, Pike, would you shut your fucking mouth? What the fudge? Keep going.
My confidence is easy to shake. I am very well aware of all of my flaws. I am aware of all the insecurities that I have.
Hitler.
Taylor Swift.
Fuck. Damn it. I'm like, there's no way fucking. Come on.
Are you ready for the next?
Yeah. So is Pike.
I think fearless is having fears but jumping away.
Hitler.
Taylor Swift.
God damn it. There's going to be a Hitler one. As soon as I switch to Taylor, it's going to be fucking Hitler.
All right.
Oh, hold on 1 second, please.
Pike, shut up, you fucking dickbag.
That's right, buddy. That's right. But, you know, easy. It's a dog, okay? Easy. All right, go ahead.
All right. Taylor Swift or Hitler?
Hitler.
Anyone who sees and paints a sky green and fields blue ought to be sterilized.
That's got to be Hitler.
No, it's Hitler, yeah.
Good, thank God. T-Swift.
Woohoo! Man,
I know who used to paint. I think I might know Hitler more than I know Taylor Swift.
All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Great liars are also great magicians.
Hitler.
That was Hitler.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely killing it on the Hitler.
Maybe I should date Hitler.
Ready for the next one?
Goods, yeah. Yep, I am.
I love making new friends, and I respect people for a lot of different reasons.
Taylor Swift.
Yes.
It sounds too dumb to be Hitler, to be fairly, just to be honest.
It does.
I like rainbows and puppy dogs. Hitler.
Okay. You people.
Oh, God.
Okay, sorry. No, let me start back. You have people come into your life shockingly and surprisingly. You have losses you never thought you'd experience. You have rejection, and you learn how to deal with that and how to get up the next day and go on with it.
Hitler.
Taylor Swift.
Fuck, that's pretty deep for Taylor. She must have been crying in a mirror when she said that.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's what she does. You have, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you have gotten 3 right.
Oh, boy.
You are, at best, going to maybe edge out what you expected.
Okay. How many questions are there?
There are 10.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right. I can get a 60.
I love the sense of winter. For me, it's all about the feeling you get when you smell pumpkin spice, cinnamon, nutmeg, gingerbread, and spruce.
Oh, God. Hitler.
Taylor Swift.
I'm like, it had to have been, too. I was like, there's no fucking... They didn't have pumpkin fucking spice anything. In fucking Germany. If they had pumpkin spice, they never would have fucking been Nazis.
You have 2 left. At
right.
best, you will match half.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I do not see why man should not be just as cruel as nature.
Yeah, that's Hitler.
Yeah, it was Hitler.
Yeah.
You and Hitler are practically soulmates.
I know. Yeah, I know that because Taylor would have said dudes, not man.
True.
You know, Columbo in the house.
Finally,
All right.
if you tell a big enough lie and tell it frequently enough, it will be believed.
Hitler.
That was Hitler.
Yes. Me and Hitler are getting married.
Yeah. You got one of Taylor Swift's quotes.
And it was
4
like
of
the fucking
Hitler's.
dumb one too. I'm like, oh, Hitler's too fucking smart to say that.
And overall had an accuracy of 50%.
Well, what did
So, John.
Didn't I think I predicted that, right?
You did.
I said
You
a
did.
5
In
out of
fact, You
10.
did get it right.
Well, it's true then.
And if this were a Match.com compatibility test, you and your loved one can snuggle up in bed with your copy of Mein Kampf and just hug it out.
That makes me feel better. I guess.
Thank you for playing this week's game with me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. That was a good one. I never would have expected Taylor Swift or Hitler. I was thinking it and I just couldn't believe it.
Ding ding, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Okay, Peter Scott, thanks, buddy. That was really good. Ding ding, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I think in 2 years from now we'll have to did Computer Scott say it or did you?
You're like your snake. He's like, I'm David. I'm David now.
What do you want for lunch? Hamburger.
Did you ever hear the comic who said hamburger?
No.
You never heard that? Let me pull it
No.
up. This guy's fucking great. I gotta remember his whole name. Let me just hamburger comic. Hey, there it is. Yeah, there's a black comic. Alonzo Hamburger Jones.
Good lord.
You never heard of this guy?
There's nothing quite like the
Oh, goddamn ads. Hold on. Skipping 1 second. Here we go.
Alonzo Hamburger Jones.
Hamburger. He's dressed like a white guy, like a white cowboy. He's got a cowboy hat on.
Oh my. He's about to let it drop.
Oh yeah, he's about to kill. You can hear it. He's about to kill. It's coming. Here it comes. Oh, he's just looking. He's killing.
It's like this name is his thing.
Hamburger.
Oh my god.
Yo, I wonder where you dressed up for Halloween? Like a hamburger on to deliver mail or something. What's up with you? You overweight, that's your problem. Can't you take a joke? I know you take an order of fries right by now, couldn't you? Hamburger, look at his feet. Piece of beans, Nike.
Hamburger. Hamburger.
Hamburger. You give me a bad name. Take that hat off.
This was on TV.
Are you hungry? Let me make
This
your
was
bed
on
behind feeling
television.
old. Hey, hey, hey. Hamburger. Look, who you ladies supposed to be in Vogue?
What the fuck?
I got news for you. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
The wrong line of work.
Hamburger. Who you supposed
I don't know.
to
He's killing though.
be? A Jamaican parking attendant?
They love him.
Move your car. Move your car. Move your car.
Good lord.
He's dressed like a black cowboy. He has a vest on. And mom jeans.
Hamburger ain't gonna happen. When I was coming up, I always wanted to be a radio disc jockey. You know, one of them smooth talking guys you hear like 7 o'clock in the morning on the radio?
Hey, hamburger.
Good morning. Welcome to station WAKJ. 1684 AM dial. The great songs are played day in and day out. I'm Mr. Jones rocking you from 7 to 10 each and every morning. Now for the weather.
Hamburger.
Partly cloudy skies out today about 58, tonight's about
Hamburger.
46. And for tomorrow, we'll just have to wait
Hamburger.
and see. Hey, let me get the top
Hamburger.
hits for this week.
Yeah,
The reason I
no,
smash
Computer
it,
Scott knows how to
I
do
don't want
it.
to see anymore.
He's so much better than the real hamburger.
I know, I agree.
Hamburger.
Why is he asking a question? He's like, he's asking if you want one.
Hamburger.
He's trying so hard.
How do we get to here?
I don't know. As long as we don't end up yiffing with hamburgers, everything will be good.
Oh, yipping with that's the name of the show. Yipping with hamburgers. But yeah, every time I think of Scott Daniels,
Oh Jesus!
I think Snow Day.
Snow Day.
For some reason, every
What, like the
snow
movie?
No, every snow day like in fucking school,
Yeah.
we just went back to my house because there was nobody home. We played fucking MLB.
No. What was that? I was actually thinking about this the other day. We'd go back to your house and we'd sit in where your computer was, and we would play the basketball. It was like we would do
NBA Live.
Yeah, one of the NBA games,
Like
but it was-
97 or something?
Exactly, and like I remember going over and we were both so upset because Michael Jordan wasn't in the game. I don't know if you remember what his name was. Like he was in the game, but he wasn't in the game.
Player 99.
Roster player number 99.
That's fucking. They can't even be creative.
And we do the 3-point shootouts and shit like that.
Fuck
you
yeah,
know?
we did. Oh my god.
Another thing I remember is, I don't know why I remember this, but we were playing the game, and it was about time to like get going. You know, it was about 5:36, so we kind of have to head back home. And your mom was making dinner. Had some stovetop going on. I love stovetop. Everyone loves stovetop stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, John, can I stay for dinner? You're like, yeah, I'll ask. And my brother was hanging out with Ty at the time, and my brother was already staying for dinner. and you asked your mom. She looked at me. I don't think we have enough. I was like, damn it, I'm so fat.
I don't think I have enough. Thanks, Ma.
But it was awesome.
He's cool like a fucking other side of the pillow.
Cool like AIDS.
Yeah, he is cool like AIDS. That's true. He is cool like the AIDS.
Oh, Jesus.
Like the AIDS, the diet chocolate from the 80s or the 70s.
Was that like an actual thing?
Yeah, it was an old product before actual AIDS.
Is a product? Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like AIDS. It was a diet product.
Can you imagine the commercials today?
Let's look it up. This is the fucking beauty of the podcast. We can just fucking look this shit up.
They pronounce it as AIDS.
Yeah, it's AIDS. This was like before AIDS was even
right before fucking Magic Johnson.
Look at that
came
first
out.
thing, AIDS commercial.
Awesome.
Ooh. Perhaps the most unfortunate name for a diet candy ever.
I've tried fad diets, powders, pills. Still, my weight's been up and down like a yo-yo until the AIDS plan taught me how to take off weight and help keep it off.
AIDS may taste like a candy, but AIDS contains one of the most effective appetite suppressants you can buy. And there's no stimulant in AIDS that could make you nervous.
No, there's certainly no stimulants in AIDS. That's true.
To help keep it off when I sometimes want things loaded with calories, AIDS helps put me in control.
Let the AIDS plan teach you how to take off weight and help keep it
phenomenal.
off. Try peanut butter AIDS.
Peanut butter AIDS too.
AIDS may taste like candy.
This is the end. Alright, yeah, I'm just fucking pro.
My God.
But yeah.
My life is like becoming more complete now that I've watched
what this fucking show does, dude. Seriously. I'm trying to see the 1982.
That is amazing.
So before AIDS was actually discovered as a disease. AIDS. See, what's great about that fucking commercial is because it's so serious.
My mind's blown. Like
that it's like an SNL sketch.
Right. Really? It really is.
Where it's actually better, though, because you know they're not joking.
You know they have no idea.
There's no irony in it whatsoever. They're just like, what? AIDS.
Yeah, like, what's wrong? Just taking AIDS.
AIDS.
Hey, can you give me some of your AIDS?
Hey, do you mind putting some AIDS in that chocolate? No, I absolutely won't. Sure.
Can you share your AIDS with me? I ran out.
Exactly. I'm running low
Come on, what's
AIDS.
wrong with giving me AIDS?
Hold on. It's really hard to think of computer Scott lines and talk at the same time.
AIDS in the hizzy.
That's right, buddy. That's right.
Does Computer Scott have AIDS?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think is
Next
there
time-
digital AIDS?
Next time anyone brings up AIDS, I'm gonna have to ask, well, what are you talking about? What kind of AIDS?
Right, like the delicious diet chocolate, or
Like the one that tastes like candy, or the one that tastes like death?
or the one that makes you skinny and cold. I don't know, guys. I just don't feel good.
Wait a second. So, AIDS in '82 was a diet supplement.
Yeah.
AIDS after discovery of actual AIDS
Is the ultimate diet supplement.
So they were well ahead of themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
that's the thing. It's like there's so many levels of.
like before AIDS was AIDS, people were taking AIDS to have AIDS. If that makes sense. Holy shit! Does that make is your mind blown? My mind's blown.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's that.
Before AIDS, the disease.
There's that many layers of how the fuck unfortunate. That's the perfect word. This is an unfortunate fucking incident. The AIDS diet plan.
He needs to be nicer.
Jesus Christ, Scott, what the fuck?
I do.
No.
I remember what it. I remember what we were talking about now.
Okay. Are you fucking high?
It wasn't a regular. It was. Remember, it was the To Catch a Predator the video game. But instead of like John went the route of the Predator, and he was like, "Oh,
yeah.
you've got to try to escape from this house after you've lured this 16-year-old girl." But I thought it would be hilarious if you had to do all the mundane crap before you.
Please kill me.
Well, fine then.
I'm so happy.
No, keep going.
I'm so happy.
I don't want to.
Oh my god.
I was curious. Just do the mundane crap. So like,
sorry.
How does this start? So you
You start out by you're on the computer and you have to lure a 16-year-old girl or 13, whatever. You know, you're in the chat room because we used to go on these like Christian chat rooms.
What was that, Julie?
No, it's okay. She didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you were just laughing.
Yeah,
No.
Julie said something.
I'm just here. As just Scott's saying, this is actually the best idea I've heard in like a week. So like, how does the first part start with? Like, you make your handle. Like, do you have to?
Exactly.
Is there create a character method where you have to like create your pedophiliac avatar?
Well, we're going old school. You don't have avatars. You just got a handle. So yeah, you have to create your handle, and then you've got the moral dilemma because again, it's just a video game. But in order to progress, you have to find this predator because you're trying to get the predator to come over to your house because you're obviously going to be Chris Hansen. So you need to be on there to pretend like you're a 16-year-old girl trying to flirt with this 32-year-old man for whatever it is the game will decide. So you have to convince this person to come over and play Xbox and drink, I don't know, wine coolers.
I got an answer for you.
Would you like some Zimmer?
Yeah, exactly.
300 miles for this.
Zimmer.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Julie called Computer Scott out. What's really impressive is that me and Greg both had Zima. From 1,200 miles away.
So I picture like a farming segment here where you need to do your mundane day-to-day like 7-Eleven job to farm up enough cash to buy the Zima.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I was just going to let him have money. But yeah, we can do that.
No, like you can combine.
Because you have to buy the Zima and you're going to have to like get the groceries, like the chips. Because, I mean, if you're going to catch a predator, you're going to want chips out. Because they might be hungry while they're waiting. I don't know. I've seen the show.
A 6-pack of Zima and a basket of My Little Pony DVDs.
Well, yeah, nowadays, yeah, definitely My Little Pony.
I think you can actually make a really charming and endearing dating simulator out of this.
Exactly. That's
charming and endearing. Yeah,
it's sad, but that's exactly what I was thinking. And then at the end, you just.
Oops, sorry.
You get to catch the predator, and then you get to like control the police as he tries to run, and then you get to like stomp on him.
I think you should do this from the perspective of the predator. Oh no, it could be like Resident Evil 2 where you can play 2 different characters.
Yeah.
You can either play the predator or Chris Hansen, and things you do in each campaign affect the other one.
That's right.
See?
Yeah, exactly. You play through the first one, then you play through the second one, and it's all the things that are missing.
Yeah.
It's from the other fucking viewpoint. Where you're just Chris Hansen waiting.
Store as a predator, you find that Chris Hansen's already bought all the home video equipment. So you suspect something is up because you made it harder for yourself.
And there will be one segment where you have to load the printer to print out all the horrible conversations that you had.
Yeah.
As like, I like to fuck 14-year-old 75. Your screen name. Is this you? Yeah. It says you like to fuck 14-year-olds. No, I don't. And it'll have like a percentage point of how effective the comeback will be, like Fallout 3.
Yeah.
It's like 14%. This is certainly not going to work. That wasn't me. It's like, no, this was definitely you. This isn't working on anybody. You don't have enough experience.
Zima is the key to young pussy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Computer Scott. Trojans and Zima. Okay.
He's definitely filthier than I am.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
You came up with this fucking game.
I did.
I like the real deal.
Oh, you got a fan.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, good for Julie.
Yeah.
John's like, this is my show, he says.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking Computer Scott and Julie presents.
This will be one that gets.
These are
lost.
my human friends. Maybe like I was thinking with the way we get music now, which is basically, I mean, most younger people get music digitally now.
Right.
So, like, I know for me, that's a new thing. Like, to me, it's weird downloading an album. I'm used to, popping a CD in and burning it to my computer, ripping it, dubstepping it, whatever the fuck the kids call it now.
I don't think copying your music is called dubstepping it. Go on.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to be hip. I'm trying to get, with my voice, have thick border glasses.
What do you call dubstep about food?
I don't know.
Grub step.
There you go.
What do you call a person that's had too much grub step?
What?
Chub step.
Okay. I like the first one a lot, to be honest with you.
The first one's better than the second one.
The first one was great. I like that one. But okay, what was I? Okay. When I put music on my iPhone, most of that music is from CDs that I own.
Right.
I rip them to my computer. And I think for a lot of years, even like with my mom, she was my main music influence growing up. She just listened to everything. And I would always just grab one of her CDs and rip it to a computer. And I still have her CD collection now, and I do that a lot. So I'm wondering if, I'm stumbling upon music a lot, especially when I was young. Now I go and seek it, but I don't know are younger people stumbling upon music anymore?
I think, now that a lot of the radio stations in the country are all owned by one organization, I think that really narrows it down.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, Clear Channel owns pretty much everything.
Right.
The only reason they don't own everything in Keene, New Hampshire is because it's too fucking small.
Because it's fucking Keene. Yeah, right.
Yeah. that like holdout radio station owns 3 or 4 places, and it's just because the people that own it are either too stubborn to sell out or are not coherent enough to make legal decisions to do so because they're so fucking old.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of where that's at, I think.
They're like, you know what we're gonna do? Fuck FM. We're just going straight AM, just AM.
If you look at the current, I guess, topology of the music landscape right now, there's really not maybe this is just me being ignorant to it. I don't think there's a whole lot of exciting things going on in general.
I have to agree with that.
The whole rock scene is gone. They still, and the thing is that the rock bands that are still out there are clones of the ones that were there when we were younger, most of which were clones of the ones that were there when your parents were younger.
Yeah.
There's still a few standouts. Like Tool is still together and they still play and they're excellent. And Nine Inch Nails remains probably still the dominant force in industrial, but they're also at this point the only force in industrial.
Yep.
There's such a level of stratification between the people that are bad at it and the people that are good at it. And the thing is that all the good people or all the talented musicians aren't the ones singing and performing anymore. They are making huge amounts of money because it is more time and cost effective for them to get their music out to the masses by selling it to the poster children of the music industry, like the Rihannas and the Keshas and the Pitbulls.
Sure, right.
The talent is still there because you posted something on your Facebook about how, oh my God, I can't believe it took 6 people to write Fancy from Iggy Azalea.
Yeah.
But the thing is that these 6 people that wrote it was a think tank of 6 of the most like music and production inclined people in the industry to make this song specifically to sell this person.
Right.
Like this song was created to make this person a household name.
It's so scientific.
Yeah, and when you think of it like that, like the talent of those 6 people is actually really impressive.
No, I 100% agree with that.
This very small pool of people writes almost every hit that hits the radio.
How fucking amazing is that?
It is amazing.
Because you can't it's funny that we call them musicians still.
They are.
No. I mean Iggy Azalea, Nicki Minaj.
They're performers. They're not musicians.
They're
performers.
right. They're entertainers.
Right.
I have no problem calling them that because they do their fucking job.
Yeah, they do. They're entertaining. Pitbull's entertaining. Kesha's entertaining.
And people show up and pay. So where's the argument? As far as entertainment goes,
it's like professional wrestling. Yeah, we know it's all fake, but we like their characters.
Yeah, and they work their ass off.
Their characters.
Right, and they work their ass off.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj is a fantastic character. I think she's one of the funniest characters in music.
Yeah, I fucking agree with that too.
I mean, man, I'll tell people I think Nicki Minaj is great, and people are like, why? I'm like, 'cause she's nuts. She's like, well, she's probably not really nuts. I'm like, well, her character is, and she's really selling it to me. So
right. Oh, exactly. She's doing her fucking job right.
It's interesting. In one side, it's really sad when you look at that everything you hear is made from this like really tiny think tank of like songwriters.
Right.
And the other point, you have to at least step back and be like, man, those people that are writing these songs are incredibly fucking talented.
Sure.
Not even if you don't like the music, but the fact that they have been able to reduce to a science what will sell to 70% of the Americans in the country. Every single time.
Yeah.
And then those same people aren't just writing pop music. They're writing the country songs. They're writing the rap songs. They are writing literally all of the fucking music.
Well, yeah, but then that's why you're starting to see, like, you know, Nicki Minaj, Anaconda, which is Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Right.
You know, now they're taking songs, and like it's always happened, but now it's happening a lot.
Well, yeah, it's a song that we already liked before. Of course, we're gonna like it a second time.
And then we put new music. I mean, we put new lyrics on top of it.
Yeah,
and it's like, wait a minute, that's not a cover.
Rihanna did a song that used the loop from
Michael Jackson,
"Blue" by Eiffel 65. It's like, of course we still like it.
Right.
We already know that track sells.
Please Don't Stop the Music had Michael Jackson in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's loaded with
it.
it.
The 90s. Can't Touch This, MC Hammer. We already knew that Super Freak was a great song.
Right.
We already voted with our money for that once. Yes, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
And when they resampled that into another song in like the late 2000s, of course we bought it again too. It's yeah, they know.
Yeah, they know. And that, like, now that I think it's happening more and more now, but that's what hurts me personally. But that's because I'm in, you know, at the end of the day, like, it would be super cool to be a rock star. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my brand of that, like what I would bring to the table, it's not what would sell anymore.
Well, no, that's the whole thing. Like the traditional rock star doesn't even exist anymore. Like,
right.
It's gone.
Yeah.
That market is kind of died down until they think that it's going to start to sell again. Like, that's the whole thing. Like,
correct.
When I'm dead. The grungy in your parents' basement marketing of music doesn't really work when there's more money to be had by the I live in my parents' condo that they bought for me while I drive around their Mercedes market.
Yeah, that's a bigger market. It's
a smaller market. It's a large market, but it's a smaller market that has a lot more money to spend.
Right, but it's an intense market.
Right.
But because what I've noticed is that there are bands out there that are really, you know, what you would consider traditional music today, I guess, which is basically just instruments and people who can perform with those instruments. But they don't have huge followings, but they have incredibly loyal followings.
Right.
You know, there's people that like Nicki Minaj today, and they probably won't next month.
Of course.
But there's a constant, like, incredibly high recycling revolving door.
Oh yeah, we can pull another one of her off the streets, no problem.
Yeah, there will be another one, and there'll probably be three. You know, like everyone that leaves right now with Nicki Minaj, or even Iggy, like if one leaves, there's three coming in.
Right.
Like they're blowing up. They're still blowing up, if you ask me.
Versus like with Nine Inch Nails, I've been a fan of that musician for 18 years now.
Right.
And
yeah, you're not going anywhere.
No, but when I went to a Nine Inch Nails concert, Rebecca and I were laughing because everyone at this concert was our age.
Right.
Because there's a whole bunch of like gothed up Nine Inch Nails fans that were smoking outside. One of them throws a cigarette on the ground. The other guy looks at him and goes, "No, man, that's not cool. Throw that in the garbage." So he picks it up, throws it in the garbage. He's like, "I'm sorry." And he's like, "No, it's cool." Then he holds the door open for the guy. He's like, "After you." He's like, "After you." I'm like, "Oh my god, this is our hardcore industrial crowd."
Holy fuck, manners.
Yeah, they don't litter and they hold the door for each other. Like that's.
They're crushing this shit
after all this time.
You're such a fucking rebel, dude.
No, it's so funny.
You first.
Just to watch that whole how you can almost look back now too, and you can look at some of the bands that were big when you were a kid. Yeah. Like Hoobastank was huge.
Oh shit, yeah.
Whatever happened to them? Oh yeah, they were made to sell albums, and now they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Replaced by Saliva, also gone. Replaced by Papa Roach,
Soil,
also gone.
Soil and Puddle of Mud. Yeah, there was a lot of those fucking bands, weren't there?
There really were. And you can look back now, and you can like actually like with an objective, like, you know, that 2020 retrospective vision, be like, oh my god, it's so obvious.
Yeah, like who couldn't see that coming?
Yeah, but you didn't.
Right, when you flood the market with, like, you know, basically one band times 10.
Right.
They're all just this, like, you know, this new band, they're a lot like Soil, Dirt. They're Dirt. And everybody's like, yeah, they'll be around for 20 years.
Of course.
Dirt will be around forever.
Of course, yeah.
Opening for Soil.
Is that one jars of clay?
You're right, exactly. It's just fucking ridiculous. You're right. When you look back, you go, "Oh, of course."
Yeah, and we all made some mistakes. I mean, I think some of us thought Alien Ant Farm was gonna go further than it did.
With their awesome cover of
Annie, Are You Okay?
Yeah.
Once again, a song that everyone already liked once.
Yep.
Yes.
Which I played their version of it live once.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and it was actually like one of the most fun songs ever to play.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it was so fucking easy, one. And two, it's just the way that, their version of it was really energetic.
Oh, yeah.
They sped it up slightly and they had actual instruments, and it's like, oh shit, this is actually really fun to play.
Right. Right, but it doesn't make them an endearing classic of a band.
Nope,
when
and that's why they're gone.
Yeah, when your breakaway hit is somebody else's song, you got big problems coming.
But I did take a look at the Macs just to see and just laugh at it. It was just for comedy. I'm like, I know.
How many fucking zeros they have next to that price? And they're just like, woof.
Well, know what's weird about the Mac laptops now, especially, is that they only come with solid state drives.
That's awesome, actually.
It is, but you can only get like 128 or 256 gigs.
That's less awesome.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense as far as like actual fucking digital media these days.
So the way that like I run my configuration is I have a solid state drive, which is my operating system partition.
Right.
So pretty much just Windows and
so
Office.
your Windows loads up in like 8 seconds.
Yeah, that's way too long.
Oh fuck. Because when I changed my hard drive to a 7200 RPM,
that's a big jump too.
Yeah, and I'm like, holy shit! It only took like 40 seconds.
Yeah.
To load up.
So with Windows 8 and a solid state drive and all that like fancy warp technology that they sell you for those things.
Yep.
My system goes from cold boot to login screen in about 2 seconds. Like totally off, not suspend, but yeah, push it, and then usually it would actually be displaying the Windows login screen before the monitor has stopped displaying its own splash screen from turning the monitor on.
Are you an alien?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Because that's what this sounds like. I'm like, might as well be from the fucking 50s right now.
No, it's
2 seconds.
That's pretty much it. I should one of these days I'll record it and send it to you, and you can just be like, God damn.
The fuck.
Yeah, well, that's like when I was able to reduce restarting my computer from being a gigantic pain in the ass to being a mild inconvenience.
Right.
Where I'm like, oh, hold on, let me reboot real quick. And then like 4 seconds later, I'm like, all right, I'm back. And someone's like, did you reboot or close your web browser? I'm like, I restarted.
I restarted everything.
Yeah, asshole.
What the fuck?
Exactly, Computer Scott.
What the fuck? No, totally agree. I'm a firm believer in not buying things that aren't fun.
Totally.
Yeah, like every time like my Comcast bill comes in, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay.
Exactly. It's like school.
Actually, I am more okay with paying my Comcast bill than the gas bill. I think the gas bill is the shittiest one.
Oh yeah, right. Well, you get a lot out of the Comcast bill.
Oh yeah.
It's like Time Warner here. I get tons out of that shit.
Did it actually switch? You guys aren't on no, that's right. They've been on Time Warner for a while in the game.
Oh yeah, we were on Fairpoint for a while, but that was with.
Yeah, then they got chased out of the state.
Yeah, that was DSL too. That wasn't cable.
Ugh.
Hey, it was good. I was like fucking last guy on dial-up.
Remember? I remember I gave you Quake 4, and you were supposed to play Quake 4 on your fancy computer, and it just said, "Nah, man, you don't have the internet."
Yeah, it's like you don't have the internet. I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm dialed up on it. You're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm connected. 56K, motherfucker. What?
Yeah, dude.
You're like, that doesn't fucking count.
That's right. You were the world's last net zero.
Remember?
I was, as far as you were concerned, that was the be all end all of ISPs. You're like, I am not moving off of this for anything.
No, I was fucking fine. And then I got DSL, and I'm like, oh my fuck, holy shit.
It's a slippery slope. Once you get started,
it really is, dude.
There's no turning back.
Well, it's like, you can drive that Honda Civic forever, but as soon as you get into a Ferrari, you've driven a Ferrari now.
You know what's funny about that?
What's that?
Is I drive a Honda Civic.
Well, yeah, and then I drive a fucking Mazda 3. You know?
Ooh.
Yeah, right, exactly.
My car's evil twin.
Yeah, pretty much. But if I were to get, a fucking BMW, it'd be really hard to go back to the Mazda.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'd
agree with that.
So if I'm going to go back to fucking dial-up now, it wouldn't be, the romance will be gone. Let's just say that.
So I think I'd actually trying to date DSL again a few years back. I had broken up with it and was with a Comcast. I thought to myself, man, this Comcast girl is really expensive to date. Like, it's very finicky. Everything's always my fault. And I just felt like it was an emotionally abusive relationship.
Right.
So I welcomed DSL back into my heart. DSL is like that old flame girlfriend that you remember all the good parts of but forgot all the bad.
Right.
Dial-up is that crazy bitch that you have yourself set to invisible on Facebook where you can't be searched just in case.
Right. Yeah, dial-up's really like nothing but nostalgia. Because it's attached to all these awesome moments you had when you were a kid.
Right.
But so you think back and you're like, yeah, Earthlink wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. And then
I'm sure it was.
It's like that kind of nostalgia like hardens the arteries.
Remember when you first discovered lag?
Yeah.
You're going to play like Quake. Quake 1 was the first huge online one that lag really became a problem.
Yeah.
I remember going to play Quake 1 online, and you pull the trigger for your gun, it didn't immediately shoot, and you were like, "What is this?"
Dude, yeah, now I'm totally on board now. Yeah, like especially if you never played online ever.
Yeah.
And you're used to just, hitting the button and it goes. It's such a small amount of time that you can't even perceive it. Yeah, and you go online, you hit a button, and it literally takes, it might be like 100 milliseconds, but that's a fucking load of time.
No, back then that was crazy, and you had to deal with it.
Yeah,
and there was like two whole groups of people. There were the high ping bastards and the low ping high ping bitches and low ping bastards. Or was it the other way around? Either way, HPVs and LPVs, and like it always came down to everyone is always looking for an excuse, but it's always like, oh, I see that you lost in Quake to me because I'm better. And it's like, no, dude, your ping was lower. It's like, no, that is clearly not it.
Right, and you're just like, shut the fuck up. It's clearly it.
Being able to shoot you when I haven't loaded onto your screen for 2 seconds is not a real advantage.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, I can't think ahead. I can't think literally in the fucking future.
Right.
It's like, okay, I need to hit it now, and then they step in front of you. It doesn't fucking work that way. And sometimes it actually kind of did work that way, which was even, more incredible.
Well, that's the way it is now. Will they have like lag compensation?
Oh, they do?
Yeah, so what you'll get is like in games like Halo, it's possible for two people to headshot each other at the same time.
Holy fuck.
The server, if you're playing online, the server doesn't declare a loser necessarily. It will sometimes be like
draw.
for lag compensation, it's like, you know what? You're both winners, and it kills you both. I'm serious.
Fucking servers.
That's the fucking future.
Yeah, that is the fucking future. Everybody gets a fucking award.
Yeah, everyone gets an award based on latency.
Hey, party people. I'm John Brown, and you're listening to the I Know I'm Wrong podcast with John Brown and friends. That was pretty good, huh? You're impressed. For the latest episodes, visit www.thejohnbrownshow.com. And if you'd rather download through iTunes or Stitcher, just search I Know I'm Wrong with John Brown and friends. I'll show right up. I'm right there. Just go get it. And for all Facebook updates, just go to facebook.com/I Know I'm Wrong podcast. For live events, just search I Know I'm Wrong podcast at YouTube. I'll be right there. All right. I'll leave you alone now. God, you guys are so picky. Enjoy the show.